Over the years, I heard this story so many times. Americans go on vacation to Europe. They eat bread, pasta, pizza. They feel amazing. They have more energy, less bloating or no bloating, and in some cases, they even lose weight. Then they come back to America. They eat the same foods. And guess what? Suddenly, they have brain fog, inflammation, and they gain weight. So, what is really going on? Is it gluten or is it something else? Let's dive in and find out what's going on. Well, first off, it's not just about gluten. When you compare Europe to the United States, you're looking at two completely different regulatory food systems. In the United States, regulators use a risk-based system. They weigh health risk against economic benefits, which means a chemical can stay on the market for years unless it's proven to cause unreasonable risks, which means they have to get sued and they can take 10 years until proven to be, unhealthy. And then, and only then, they can take it off the market. And yes, large agriculture and chemical companies spend millions on lobbying policymakers, which is legal and it's also public record. And in Europe, they use something called the precautionary principle. If there is serious concern about harm, they can restrict or ban it immediately, even if absolute scientific certainty isn't even there yet. And that's why certain pesticides are banned in Europe and are still used in America. Then add in ultra-processing, higher sugar content, food additives, emulsifiers, and different farming practices. And suddenly, it's not even the same bread anymore. Europe has a much smaller list of approved food chemicals. Direct food chemicals. It's about 300 to 400. While in the United States, if you combine all the additives, flavoring, processing aids, and packaging substances, you have way over 10,000 chemicals approved by the EPA. Yes, and that ends up in our food supply. In a nutshell, I hope this gives you a better idea, why you might feel better when you eat these kind of foods in Europe versus United States. There's more stricter regulation. We don't use genetically modified foods. We don't use all those pesticides that are allowed here in America. One of the worst one is atrazine, which is, one of the worst hormone disruptor. It turned, male frogs to female frogs in studies, and because it's in our drinking water here in the United States, and that's why in Europe it was banned because of that exact reason, because they were afraid that it might end up in the drinking water. And so on. I mean, there's many other reasons, but that gives you a good idea in a nutshell